Yeah, yeah. That may be the coolest thing I've ever seen. Primal Chaos. Hey guys, Primal Chaos here. Welcome to the channel. Now, any of you who have been around for a little bit know that I've done a couple of Stray Kids songs in the past. I've also done some BTS, some Blackpink, LE SSERAFIM. I've kind of scratched the surface of K-pop, and you should be aware that it's not my typical genre. It's something I'm kind of dabbling in just to see how it goes. But the one thing I've learned quite conspicuously throughout this journey is that if you want to understand the pinnacle of excellence in pop music, production, choreography, performance, everything, then the place to go is South Korea. If there's one constant, one consistency amongst everything I've seen, it's that everybody there is at the absolute top of the pop music and R&B music game. There's just no denying it, right? And so Stray Kids have always impressed me with their versatility and stuff, but what I really appreciate is their more edgy stuff. I love things with attitude. I love the punch in your face kind of aesthetic that I feel like they're unique in being able to bring at the level that they do as far as these top tier K-pop bands go. But that said, prove me wrong. If you think that I'm wrong there, hit me up in the comments. I'd love to know sort of other avenues to look at and stuff like that. But as far as just the pure pop, R&B, hip hop sort of aesthetic stuff, these guys seem to tick all my boxes as far as the attitude side of things goes. And hopefully this is the same. I have no idea what this is. I just saw it popped up and I was kind of looking for something to react to today, and this seemed like as good a thing as any. So we're going to check it out. Here we go. This is Stray Kids S-Class. It looks like an official music video. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh. See how they change up the groove? Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. We're, 32 seconds into the clip, and already the production is absolutely elite. The way that they sort of jump between different flavors and different rhythmic cadences and stuff like that is just, you just don't see this in Western pop as much. There's great producers, don't get me wrong, there's great Western producers and great Western performers and things like that, but there's something about this. Like, look how they go from this extreme attitude. First of all, I love the way that the dance starts before the beat even drops. That's really cool. There's like this little anacrusis of boom, right? This is pretty straight, right? Right on the start of the beat. And then watch. Boom. Now we're sort of sitting way back in the groove. And then rapid fire again.
Kick it. Swerving and speeding and surfing road. Luxurious like heaven class. Best of the best on first class. I'm up above the world, so high I'll be the shiny day and night. They wonder how my spotlight is so bright. Counting stars if you're at better, I know that's me. In my work.
That's an interesting point, right? So typically that's where I would place a chorus. In a traditional sort of pop or rock song, that would be the big hook. That's the thing that everyone sings along to, right? But what they do is catering to their strengths as performers. They drop it back to a dance break, essentially, right? So you have these big musical interludes, right? Where it gets kind of major key, sort of happy and floaty up here. You know, this is very positive and uplifting, so that they can contrast that directly with almost Indian rhythms. Like there's some Bollywood rhythms going on there. It reminds me of, there's a metal band called Bloodywood, who are from India, and they do sort of the same sort of rhythmic patterns, but with like their traditional drums over heavy metal. Really interesting. But it's kind of, it's melodically, it's kind of a non-event. It's more rhythmic and textural than anything, right? It's not like a melody line. But it's the perfect opportunity for them to drop into a synchronized dance, like performance piece, right jam in the middle of the song where you expect it to peak, right? It actually goes the opposite. It goes build, 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 drop, right? Different, cool, unusual.
Class, best of the best on first class. I'm up above the world, so high I'll be the shiny day and night. They wonder how my spotlight is so bright. Counting stars, if you're at better, I know that's me. In my work.
Funky verse again. Oh. A bit of chromaticism. Oh. Oh, that's cool. I mean, at the start of the video, I mentioned how everybody is at the top of their game for choreography, you know, performers, choreographers, costumers, whatever, right? But the video production from these bands is just second to none. What even happened then? Second of all, why did we suddenly go into a West Coast groove kind of old school hip hop motif, right? Never ceases to amaze. Listen to that fat snare. And then, oh, there I am. Here's your hook. This is your repeated chorus. But it just serves to build up. It doesn't serve to peak in crescendo.
They wonder how my spotlight is so bright. Counting stars, that's me. In my world.
Production.
빛이 번져 또 빛나는 star. I feel like the brightest star. 빛이 쏟아지는 밤. 하늘을 바라보면 내 모습 수놓아져 있어. Yeah, yeah. 떨어지지 않고 완전히
just dropping cars now.
Stay hey yeah. 빛날 광의 사람은 그게 바로 우리 속의 말. We're special, yeah. Straight kiss 내 뒤에 팀은 특수 부대. 스테이지 위 그 자체로 위가 특별 무대. 관중들은 따로 필요 없이 축제. 전체 따위 필요 없이 꽃빛 불 때. Limited edition. 이런 거 특별해져. 투명하면 분명하게 바꾸고 거듭돼서 you. 눈에 띄는 tension. 몰입하는 객소. 이 빛 하나간데 여기 모든 것을 밝혀. Counting stars.
Oh, come on. Monsters back.
빛이 번져 더 빛나는
Yeah, yeah. That may be the coolest thing I've ever seen. Do they storyboard these clips? Like, how does it work? Is there a behind the scenes on this that goes into detail? I'd love to see how the machine works because that was so much chaos. Like, I get it if they're sitting around in a boardroom somewhere going, okay, we're going to cut back to an old school hip hop thing here, and we're going to do this here, and we're going to have a card dropping and an alien creature here and some black Men in Black style spaceness going on. But it's just like they've done 20-year career worth of music videos in the span of 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Oh my God. Talent. Top shelf. All of the voices, all of the rapping, all the cadences of the raps, all of the melodic idiosyncrasies, the fact that they're doing like little chromatic sort of runs. You know, that sort of thing in the melodies that sort of, you know, aren't typically sort of as diatonically scale oriented, right? It's those little earwig things that get in there and they just drill into your brain because they're unusual. They're things you haven't heard before. I just talked about this on another reaction I did earlier today, where I saw a video where somebody was talking about music, and when you're listening to something and it's going along as you might expect, and then suddenly there's something unusual that jumps out at you, something weird, or an unusual melodic choice, or something, you know, the kind of things that make you go, oh, when you listen to a song. What it's actually doing is it's eliciting a dopamine response. And so you're getting a kick of dopamine every time the song does something. It zigs when you expect it to zag. It affects your brain chemistry in such a way that you can't help but be jazzed by that, right? And I think that's why these work. This is like the super cocaine of like, if there was such a thing, where they've taken everything that we know about how music affects you psychologically and how it pumps you up and amps you and, you know, can make you feel emotional and everything. And they've written it down in like a manual, and they handed it to the people who produce this stuff. And I believe in the comments, a lot of people say Stray Kids produce a lot of their own stuff, but they've gotten to the point where they can pinpoint exact moments where okay, we're just going to stab you in the brain here and then here and then here. And it's this death of 1,000 cuts, where by the end of the song, you're left with this feeling like, I don't know what just happened. You kind of snap out of it because there's so many zigs and zags in different directions and changes of course that, you know, it's the perfect music for, you know, the early 2020s, right? Where the concept of attention span is just gone now, you know, with the advent of things like TikTok, TikTok is the K-pop of like social media apps, in that they figured out the formula and they give you exactly what your brain needs to become addicted and locked in, right? Short, curated stabs of interest, right? And so that's why it's no coincidence that all of these music videos jump from gamut to gamut all over the place, because they're trying to give you 15 to 20 seconds of something and then switching it on its head so that you don't get bored, right? It's actually, in a way, so sociologically, it's a little bit sad because we don't have the time to invest in sitting and focusing on anything for that long anymore. And if you made it this far in the video, we're currently about 13 minutes in. Congratulations, you're one of the lucky few who can still pay attention. But look, I'm here for it. If you can figure out the system and you can leverage that to your advantage, then do it, you know. But again, I don't want to take anything away from the raw talent that's here as well. Like, they're doing everything. It's this dopamine fueled paint by numbers, right? But it doesn't take anything away from the talent that's required to come up with that and to work within that framework. And then on top of that, you're sprinkling on incredibly talented individuals that form this group, that are the front people of this whole thing, that just, you know, world-class vocalists, world-class rappers, everything, nothing happens by accident. There's no weak links. Oh my God. So anyway, with all that being said about attention spans, I'm not going to keep you guys much longer. If you like what I do here, if you feel like you want to support the channel and see more of what I do, the best thing you can do is hit subscribe, hit the bell. And, you know, I'm trying to build my profile a little bit so I can get to the level where I've got some clout to be able to maybe hit up some folks for interviews and long form podcast discussions about music production and influence. And, you know, the things that I think that most interviewers kind of, you know, they don't go as deep as I want to go, as far as like really getting into the clockwork mechanism of what goes on behind the scenes with, you know, influence of these artists and where they draw inspiration from, how they came to be who they are. Those sort of burning questions that drive me crazy because no one's asking them. So the best way you can help me do that is to boost my channel as much as you can. And the best way to do that is to just hit subscribe, hit the bell. If you want to support the channel also, there's a link to buy me a coffee link or a PayPal link in the description, which you can also click, and that's super helpful. Or just hit super thanks as well. You guys are amazing. Thank you for sticking around this long. You're some of the rare ones who can still pay attention. Appreciate every single one of you. Love you. Stay primal, and I'll catch you on the next one.